Will the Auburn Tigers upset the Georgia Bulldogs? What's going on, guys? This is Elijah here, and today I'm back with another college football prediction video. Alright, so as you guys know, I'm going to be talking about the Georgia Bulldogs versus the Auburn Tigers as Georgia goes on the road to face off Auburn at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Coverage and time will be to be determined. They haven't said it yet. Probably will most likely be on CBS around either 3:30 or even 7:30. Could be a primetime game. This is a do or die mode for Georgia because their playoffs our college football playoffs is on the line this week when they play Auburn at Auburn. So it's gonna be a tough test for Georgia to see if they're gonna beat Auburn. If not, their college football playoffs is eliminated because they lost to South Carolina, and of course, South Carolina lost to Appalachian State. And that will hurt their resume as well even more because Appalachian State is a group of 5 team. And LSU just beat Alabama at Alabama, and that was a crazy game. LSU had a 20-point lead until the second half, and Alabama came back. But LSU hang on, and then they won. So this is a do-or-die mode for Georgia. Auburn, on the other hand, I don't think so because they lost twice. So I don't think they will be considered even going into the college football playoffs. Because there's Ohio State, there's Clemson, and then there's either Oklahoma or Oregon, or either could possibly be Georgia if they hold on all the way through. So this is a do or die mode for Georgia because they lost to South Carolina, and one more loss would hurt them big time, and they could possibly be eliminated from the college football playoffs. So, all right. So as you guys know, I like to go through the match predictor, the season leaders, and of course the team stats, and I'll give my final prediction of the game. All right, so match predictor, we have UGA, which is Georgia, 47.4% over Auburn's 52.6. Wow. Passing yards. All right, so we're going season leaders now. That's kind of wow. So they got almost like a 4-point favorite to versus Georgia. All right, so the season leaders, we have passing yards. We have Jake Fromm with 156 completions to 233 attempts, 1,858 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. He's kind of having ups and downs this year. Not really great as last year was. So Auburn, we have Bo Nix, who's done a great job so far as a freshman. Has 140 completions to 248 attempts, 1,798 passing yards, 12 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Almost similar to Jake Fromm's. All right, so we have for rushing yards, we have DeAndre Swift, who's done a great job so far, almost to 1,000 rushing yards. He has 147 carries with 921 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns. For Auburn, we have Jatarius Whitlow. He has 113 carries with 555 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns, so not bad. But he has 400 less rushing yards than DeAndre Swift. But it doesn't matter when the two teams are playing. All right, so for Georgia, we have receiving-wise. For Georgia, we have Lawrence Kager with 32 receptions, 470 receiving yards, and 4 touchdowns. Not bad at all. For Auburn, we have Seth Williams with 35 receptions, 569 receiving yards, and 8 touchdowns. So really, really good for Auburn. So look for Bo Nix and for Williams to be the duo of that game. And, of course, Jatarius can also be a problem against Georgia's defense. All right, so team stats. We have Georgia, 33.7 points per game, while Auburn, almost similar, but 1 point less with 32.7 points per game. Points allowed per game. This is huge for both teams, but mostly for Georgia, with only allowing 10.1 points per game. I don't know why they have 1.1. That's weird. I guess because of field goal or either just getting into or something, a safety. But anyways, Auburn has a 17.4 points allowed per game, so not bad at all. So look for good defense in this game, or it could be a high-scoring game. Total yards, we have Georgia 448.4 total yards, while Auburn has 425.1 total yards. Yards of passing, we have Georgia 232.6 yards of passing, while Auburn has 205.8. Yards of rushing, we have Georgia. We have 215.9. We have Auburn 219.3, so almost similar for rushing, and Georgia's done better than Auburn in passing. Yards allowed. This is huge for Georgia and, of course, for Auburn as well. But this is huge for Georgia. Yards allowed is 260.3 yards allowed, while Auburn has 334.1, which is kind of bad. So passing yards allowed, we have 185.8 for Georgia and 221.4. So look for Georgia to have a good passing game against Auburn. But Auburn also has a good rushing defense because their defensive line is pretty good. So passing yards allowed, or I said that rushing yards allowed, we have 74.6 rushing yards allowed for Georgia. Is really, really good. For Auburn, we have 112.7 rushing yards allowed. And that is your final team stats for today's video or / podcast, as you like to say. Honestly, in my prediction, I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate. I do like Auburn, but I think that I'm going to go with Georgia on this one because they have to play on their A game against Auburn, and this is a do or die, do or die mode for Georgia because if they lose this game, I think their college football playoffs hopes is most likely over, as long as all these other teams like Clemson, Ohio State, or other teams that are undefeated are going into the college football playoffs, and it could be either LSU or Alabama. All right, so my final prediction for today's video, I think most likely it's going on the road. I know that, but Auburn can win. But I'm going to pick Georgia in this one. I'm going to pick 35-31. It's going to be a high-scoring game, and I think that Georgia is going to score late, and Auburn's going to be up 31-28, and then Georgia scores in midway through the fourth quarter, and they hold all the way through. So my final score is 35-31 Georgia. They take Auburn on the road. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be an awesome game. So it's going to be a pretty interesting game. All right, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day. Thank you for watching my videos. And sometimes I make bad predictions, but you guys are awesome. Comment below what you guys think. And see you guys later. Peace.